Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we're going to be talking about the Last Jedi trailer that was just announced at Star Wars Anniversary.
Yeah, just a couple hours ago, actually.
Yeah, I saw it live, actually. I didn't even know it was...
well, not live at the event.
Yeah, live on the stream of the event. But I didn't know it was going to come up, and I was just like... I turned it on, I'm like, oh my god, it's up. And it, like, right afterwards, Ryan Johnson's like, and here it is again. And I was like, okay, I definitely want to see it a second time. It was super exciting. It was definitely, like, just enough that my interest is super peaked.
They didn't really show you much, but what they showed you was just it's a perfect tease, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you feel satisfied that you don't really feel like you're missing much, but enough to go on and just like whet your appetite. A lot of cool Easter eggs. If you notice, in the space battle, you can see there's A-wings from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And actually, in that space battle, if you look at the like battle cruisers they have, they're all sort of the same make and design. It almost looks like more of like maybe the New Republic army.
Yeah.
Whereas the Resistance is more like a ragtag sort of patchwork type of thing.
Right, and they've just got like a bunch of, X-Wings that they paint different colors and small ships and stuff. But these ones were like really big.
Although you still saw like X-Wings and A-Wings, so I don't know, maybe the Resistance is working with the New Republic army, because the fleet got wiped out in Force Awakens, right? So maybe they banded together now. Yeah, that's what that could mean.
And it definitely seems like that's likely because we saw some like leaked footage before of stuff that looked kind of like Republic like cities and stuff. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see them in the movie doing something with their ships and some kind of fighting.
You see Finn. It looks like he's in some sort of like
stasis chamber.
Yeah, like maybe to heal him.
Yeah,
there was a rumor that he had some kind of bubble suit type thing. I don't know. Maybe that could be related to that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little tiny things. You see Captain Phasma.
Walking into like after this explosion behind her, like some fire. And
if you look at the left side of the screen, it looks like it's some kind of structure. It looks like it could be a hangar, maybe the same one that blows up with Poe Dameron and BB-8 trying to escape on the ship.
Right, and the editing kind of tricks you to think that it's part of the scene that you see like previously to that, where it was what looks like Luke. Right beside R2-D2 in the sort of like fire area.
Yeah. Well, we think Luke anyway.
Yeah, we think Luke. The person's got a cloak and he's beside R2.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, so I guess that brings us into discussion about Luke, because that's all this trailer's about. Yeah. Luke and Rey, and especially Luke. And even Kathleen Kennedy said like Luke is a huge part of this movie. Yeah. And so I guess it starts out and you see Rey collapsing to the ground. And if you look behind her, there's a cave entrance. And she's obviously on Acto, which is the Skellig Michael location. Yep. And there's a cave entrance behind her. And it's the same one that you see Luke standing at the very end. Yeah. And it looks like maybe she's reacting to like maybe a vision she had. Yeah, which we know from Empire Strikes Back that Jedi have been known to have visions in certain caves, right? Caves and stuff like that. So... Which, that's a very sort of... in Neolithic times, people would go in caves and have like vision quests and have, trip out on stuff. So if you look, there's also a scene where you see it's a shot of, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a wide shot and it was like in some kind of cavern, but it's actually a shelf. Yeah. And there's books on the shelf. And then you see a close-up of like a hand going over these really ancient-looking books. Mm-hmm. And you see the symbol for the Jedi. Yeah. And the hand actually that's touching it has a glove, so I don't know if it's Luke's hand. Yeah. And maybe he's in the cave with Rey at some point, because you see him at the end, so maybe he's showing her, this was like the earliest, maybe that's the first Jedi temple, is it wasn't actually a temple, it was like a cave. Yeah, and we know that like Luke had been going around looking for Jedi, texts, or at least religious things, so I assume he's been collecting a bunch of them and he's been studying them since, his like self-isolation. And that symbol that he shows her, that symbol of the Jedi, which is canon, we're not just speculating, that is the Jedi symbol, that ties into the poster, the teaser poster they released. It's basically forming the Jedi symbol with Rey holding the lightsaber up. And then splitting halfway down with Luke on one side and Kylo Ren on the other. And the lightsaber is blue, starts off blue, and it transitions into red. Yeah. And that ties into the theme of balance and light and darkness. And that's a big part of the philosophical aspect of this trailer, is that it seems like the voiceover is basically like a guided meditation that he's putting Rey through. He's like, what do you see? And she says, the light and the dark. And he's like, but there's so much more. It's so much bigger than that. Yeah, it's so much bigger than that. And then at the end he says, I know one truth, the Jedi must end, basically. Yeah. And so he is the last Jedi. Right. That's what it's referring to. And this is basically like the idea of balance of the Force, and like sort of like there's no more Sith, so there can't be any more Jedi, and that ties into the whole, this new trilogy is all about what's old becomes new, but it's different. You know, the Rebel Alliance becomes the Resistance, the Empire becomes the First Order.
Yeah.
And the Jedi and the Sith can't exist anymore. Kylo Ren's not a Sith.
Yeah. It seems kind of like, you know, the cycle's repeating itself
Yeah.
again, where where Luke made like a Jedi school, and then it spawned like the dark side of the Force
Yeah.
once again. So I think what he's realizing at this point is that the Jedi must end to stop the Sith as well. You can't have them exist without the other.
Yeah.
And it seems like what he's going to try to do is balance the Force by telling Rey to learn both sides.
To go beyond. It's basically he's saying it's beyond good and evil. It's beyond light side and dark side. The Force, that's such a simplistic binary way of looking at it. The Force is so much complex than that. He says it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And that's in his isolation and reading these ancient texts and just being like having the introspection. He's like become like even wiser than Yoda in a way.
Yeah. And to go on that, we had, you know, the prophecy that we had heard before was never really, I guess, like
the light side prevailing.
Yeah, that's what it was implied. Like it seemed like it was implied that Anakin would bring balance to the Force by
destroying the Sith,
which he did,
and that's
he kills himself and Palpatine.
Yeah.
But then you still have Luke left, and how is the Force balanced if you still have the light side without the dark?
And that's the way George Lucas explained it too. Is that like, oh, Anakin's the chosen one because he destroys the Sith and balances the Force, and that's also now that maybe that's being retconned. They're saying, no, George. I think that's a little bit. That's like just the start. We can go beyond that now, and so they're almost like retconning it, because even in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda says, you know, maybe the prophecy was misread, but they don't even really seem to know what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why in Return of the Jedi, Yoda says, "Wanganamai, the last of the Jedi will you be?" And so now Luke is like, he is the last Jedi, and the Jedi have to end in order for there to be balance. And starting with Rey, now he tried it with his Jedi school, and it failed. Mm-hmm. It's almost like destiny. Like he brought back the dark side in trying to start the Jedi again.
Yeah.
And so now this is his second go, basically, and maybe he'll die in this one.
Yeah.
If they're saving Carrie Fisher for Episode 9, which we've heard, maybe this will be the end of Luke.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he'll die in Episode 9 as well, like later on. But yeah, it seems kind of like he knows that he has to end at some point, right?
Yeah.
Like he's,
it also, sorry, just not to cut you off, but there's a little bit of an Easter egg. If you listen very carefully, there's these like whispers throughout. The first one you see when they show Princess Leia, you hear her saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." The second one is when you see Kylo Ren's shattered helmet, which is cool, because I guess he's not wearing the mask anymore.
Yeah, which seems weird, because now I think he would need it with the scar on his face.
Well, maybe it makes him look so intimidating that he doesn't need the mask anymore.
Yeah, he's got chicks dig scars.
Yeah, he's got the battle scars now.
Yeah.
But when you see the shattered mask, you hear Obi-Wan Kenobi again, saying, you know, he was seduced by the dark side of the Force from A New Hope. And then when they show the Jedi books, you hear Yoda, and I believe it's from Revenge of the Sith, where he's saying you must learn to let go.
Yeah. And
that's like letting go of the Jedi.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can't be attached to the Jedi. You have to let go of the Jedi in order to restore harmony to the universe.
Yeah. And I kind of think now that we've seen this teaser and a lot of the stuff that's been happening sort of with the conventions where like Mark Hamill's always joking about her being his daughter.
Yeah, even in the panel, he's like, "Oh, so my daughter, Rey over there."
And I think he's playing it up enough that at this point, I highly doubt it's true. And I'm kind of thinking, because they're really pushing Obi-Wan a lot, that she's going to be related to him in some sense.
The timeline would make out if Obi-Wan had a child shortly after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
By the time that woman had a child, it would be Rey's age.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I'm kind of thinking that that's where this is going to go. That's speculation.
If they're going to make a connection, I think either at this point, because even Josh Gad was the moderator for the panel, and he was like playing up like, Daisy, are you related to the Skywalkers? Again, keep saying that. So it really seems like they're taking like a more philosophical approach to this, and like Empire Strikes Back sort of delved deeper into the Force and philosophy, like what is the Force, what is the dark side, and this is kind of the Empire Strikes Back of the new trilogy.
Right.
So now they're going beyond that and being like, no, but not just what is the dark side, was like what is the Force, and like going beyond, you know, both the knowledge of the Jedi and the Sith, and something new.
Yeah, and I think Luke is after like going back and reading the early Jedi text, he's kind of understanding that other aspect to it, and he's kind of uncovered more than even Yoda knew at the time.
Yeah.
Which is cool, and I think that's a lot to get just from this one little teaser.
One line.
Yeah, and it's all from that one line at the end that like caused everyone to speculate, where he's like, you know, the Jedi must end, and when I watched it, I was like, whoa, what? Like
they could have just released that one clip, that one line, and be like, Yeah. Here you go, internet. Have fun. We'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, now it's time for like a slew of fan theories and everything just about this one line about like the Jedi having to end. And it's great. I mean, that's what a teaser should do, right? It's just leave you wanting more and like having to speculate away. Yeah. Not give away too much, which it didn't.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, we could go on forever, so we're going to wrap it up here. Leave us your comments, what you guys thought of it, because I know you all have your own theories.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't really mention, that shot of like the burning city and like R2 and the hooded figure.
Yeah.
Is that a flashback to the Jedi school being destroyed?
Or is it happening real time? I don't know.
It's so ambiguous.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like cutting together with other parts with like fire going on. It could be that they're trying to imply that it was all together, but I don't know. It could be a flashback.
Yeah. Anyway, though, so yeah, leave us your feedback. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next episode.